Morning glory and evening grace, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Welcome to the program. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl yesterday, but we are on the cusp of big events, whether it's this week or this month or next month. It's a very important time, and I'm honored to have with me Prince Reza Pahlavi. He's the Crown Prince of Iran. He is also the voice and face of the Iranian opposition.
That will be on your side as the best partners. It's good for regional peace, it's good for world peace, and it's good for business and economic opportunities. Iran is a country that would represent in the first 15 years at least $1 trillion worth of revenue to the U.S. economy by means of American investment in Iran. There are hundreds of
I agree with all that, Prince. And same thing I'm going to ask you. Who else would help you lead a transition? Are there other people in a position to step up in the aftermath of a regime collapse in Iran to lead the country back to what it was prior to a dawn of freedom again?
All the Iranian democratic secular forces that believe in these four core principles have a place under this tent. The four core principles that is the basis of our coalition is, number one, Iran's territorial integrity. Number two is a clear separation of religion from government as a prerequisite to democracy. The importance of individual liberties and equality of all citizens under the law. And finally, the right for the Iranian people to determine their own future by means of free election and the ballot box, which is...
Years ago, Prince, I watched the revolution on a couch in the old Western White House with Richard Nixon and Ray Price every night. And former President Nixon, I was a writer on his staff just out of college. He could not believe that Iran was falling because it was so pro-American. And he was, of course, a great friend of your father's. After 47 years of nonstop anti-U.S., great Satan, anti-Israel, little Satan, rhetoric and propaganda, and after the devastation of the Iran-Iraq war, is there ever returning Iran to a pro-U.S. resting face, to being an ally?
No doubt. Listen, you remember 9/11 and how many people on your so-called allied countries in the Middle East were dancing in the streets in celebration after that attack? The only country where people held candlelight vigil in sympathy to the victims of 9/11 were no other than the Iranian people in Iran. In Iran, not just outside of Iran, in Iran. That was then. And the same people who today march in rallies in protest against the regime, you will see that in all our demonstrations, from Australia to Canada to the US to Europe, there is alongside the Iranian national flag, either an Israeli flag or an American flag or whatever the host country in which they live flag. That's the Iran that we know, that's the Iran that we are, not this regime that always called for death to America or death to Israel. And I think many Americans know that. Many Americans know a fellow Iranian that was either a schoolmate of his or is a colleague of theirs or work in a company, vice versa. They know that Iranians, unlike this regime, are peace-loving people, are with that culture and civilization, want to be friends with whoever respects them and respect their sovereignty. And America has always been a great friend to Iran and should be. That's the way it should be. And I don't think that it will be by miracle that this will recur. It's just that this regime has been an aberration. This regime has been the product of two extreme forces that were clearly against the West, the Marxists and the Islamists that ganged together, brought this regime into power. And from the very beginning, we saw the hostility towards the West and the US in particular. A liberated Iran that doesn't buy into the extreme radical ideology of totalitarian Marxists or Islamists, unlike them, are committed to freedom, are committed to human rights. And guess what? America has been a beacon of hope and opportunities. Many Iranians came all the way to the United States to find refuge or find a better life. And most of them, once Iran is freed, would like to go back to their country to bring back these very same values that are taken for granted here in the United States by many Americans, but that the Iranians are starving and dying for having in our own country. And what better partner can we have than America to help us not only liberate ourselves and bring about all the aspects of liberty that we deserve, but also what good partners we could be in the future and the rebuilding of Iran. As President Trump has said, MAGA We say MIGA, make Iran great again, and together with America, we'll make both countries great again.